Welcome back, friends. I took some time off from the podcast because of summer vacation. I was in Germany and Austria for about 17 days, which is very long for an American. It felt like a European vacationer with that amount of time. And a few of those days was in the Austrian Alps, which was really incredible. We spent 3 days hiking, 2 nights in Austrian alpine huts, which have the feel of a hostel, but with homemade food. It was such a local and cool experience. Todd planned the vacation probably for 6 months. It's something he's always wanted to do. So he really researched all that. And if you think about going to those huts, this very European experience, as in not bougie, but not necessarily really rough either, because there's between when you're hiking in the Alps, every hour or 2 hours, you will come across a hut that's serving beer and pastries, and probably pretzels or some kind of schnitzel. But anyways, it was a really cool experience. So I haven't created any podcast episodes during that time. But today I want to chat about a recent debate between Dr. Lauren Colenso-Semple and Dr. Stacy Sims. It was hosted by the brothers, Dr. Nadalskis, on their podcast. It's also on YouTube too. So you might have seen some of the back and forth posts that they put up that's contradictory. It can get a little intense because Dr. Stacy Sims and many of the menopause influencers that follow her assert what she asserts, and Dr. Lauren Colenso-Semple will have a oppositional post also citing research. But honestly, this debate was really interesting because both of these women are top-notch researchers in women's health and fitness, specifically midlife women's health and fitness. And the thing with when you follow both of their advice or expert research synopsis, their advice can feel kind of contradictory. And a lot of people have, when I say people, I mean women, since we're the ones who are following them for how to think about our health in perimenopause and menopause. A lot of people can get confused about who's right. So I wanted to take this episode to kind of break it down, because it kind of feels like a Drake versus Kendrick beef in the women's health and fitness world. So let's start with strength training. First up, strength training for women, especially during peri and postmenopause. Here's the breakdown. Dr. Stacy Sims says women need to lift heavy. When I say heavy, heavy enough that you can only do 3 to 5 reps per set. So she's talking about maximizing your strength and performance. And really, this advice, the 3 to 5 reps, and I know this range because it's often used when you're training with barbells. This advice is aimed at women who are already athletes or very highly trained. You like someone who's been a triathlete for a while, or an endurance trainer, or competitive sports player, or even someone like me, a trainer herself. Now, Dr. Lauren Colenso-Semple, who's often reposted and quoted by Dr. Jen Gunter, who's also a big menopause medical influencer. Dr. Colenso, on the other hand, points out that the 8 to 12 reps with moderate weight is also highly effective for building muscle. You don't have to be stuck in the super heavy 3 to 5 rep range to get results. And she's often challenging some of the claims that, as I mentioned, that you hear in the menopause fitness space that say that women need extreme loads to see gains. Now, here's the key. They're talking to different groups of women. So neither is wrong. They just have different audiences. Dr. Colenso-Semple is speaking to what we call in fitness the general population. Maybe it's a woman who didn't grow up lifting. They aren't athletes. Maybe they work out 2 to 3 times a week, maybe 1 time a week. Dr. Sims, as she also stated during the debate, is speaking to athletic women who already have a solid fitness base. So when it seems like they're contradicting each other, they're really just speaking to different niche audiences. But, of course, the debate didn't just stop there. They also do differ in a few other areas. Fasted training. Fasted training means going to do your workout without having consumed any food. Dr. Sims emphasizes that fasting is not beneficial for active women. She points out that fasting can disrupt key hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol, leading to negative effects such as irregular menstrual cycles, decreased thyroid function, and metabolic slowdowns. She advocates for consuming a little bit something before the workout and also after the workout to support your performance and recovery. And she has certain research studies that back what she's saying. Dr. Colenso-Semple, however, argues that there is no human research proving fasted training is harmful for women over 40. She suggests that if you feel good training in a fasted state, so if you feel good working out having not eaten anything, and it fits your lifestyle, it can be fine. The real issue that she says has to do with poor recovery or chronic stress, not the timing of your meals. Another topic, hormonal training, as in training around your menstrual cycle. Dr. Sims used to emphasize adjusting your training cycles based on your hormone fluctuations, aka based on where you are in your menstrual cycle. However, she's since acknowledged that current research shows that hormones do not significantly impact training cycles the way she once thought. Therefore, she no longer emphasizes adjusting workouts based on based on your hormones. Dr. Colenso-Semple has consistently maintained that consistent, solid training works, regardless of hormone fluctuations. She suggests that most women don't need to adjust their training based on their menstrual cycle. So they both came to agreement on that point. The next topic in terms of health and fitness where they differ is nutrient timing, or when you eat your meals. So Dr. Sims, and it kind of goes with what we just talked about, Dr. Sims emphasizes post-workout nutrition for performance and recovery in female athletic populations. She highlights that female athletic populations need to eat after the workout. Dr. Colenso-Semple says, as long as you hit your protein goals, your nutrition, at the end of the day, exact timing isn't a big deal for most people. So, in hearing some of these differences, what does that mean for us? Most everyday women, or if you're a trainer like me who works with everyday people as their clients, Dr. Colenso-Semple's guidance is probably the most relevant. Moderate weights, 8 to 12 reps, consistent protein, balanced nutrition, getting enough rest, sleep, etc. But if you're coaching athletes, or you're one yourself, or you're a trainer, Dr. Sims's approach is probably super helpful for optimizing performance and recovery. Not that general population doesn't need to optimize, but if you're trying to optimize because you want to be faster, better at what you do in your competitive sport, then all these little details will matter more. So the bottom line is, don't stress if you're seeing mixed messages online. Both of the researchers are right. They're just talking to different audiences. So knowing who the advice is for makes all the difference. It's kind of like an NFL coach telling one of their team, the people on the team, what they need to be doing for recovery versus the NFL coach telling a dad that lives in Jersey City what he needs to do for recovery. It's going to be a little different because they have different outcomes that they're looking for. And before I go, I wanted to just let you know that I'm hosting a free webinar with the Plyo guy, that's Matt McInnes Watson. The webinar is Beyond Bone Density, Benefits of Plyometrics for Women 50 Plus. What we're going to cover in this free webinar: why plyos are more than just bone density. They help you move quicker, stay agile as you age. We're going to cover common barriers women 50 plus face when wanting to do jump training and how to move past them. And Matt will be going over his scalable plyometric system that makes movements safe and accessible. I will drop the free sign-up link in the show notes. Alrighty, that is it for today. I hope this clears up some of the conflicting messages or advice around women's strength training and nutrition that you might be getting in the menopause world. I'm deeply in the menopause world, always following what all these experts say. So I know a lot of people who don't work in fitness probably are even more confused because you don't know necessarily, like I just said, that with Dr. Colenso and Dr. Sims, how they have different audiences that they're speaking to. Anywho, don't forget to drop a review or a rating on whatever podcast vehicle you're listening to, and pass my podcast on to a friend, and I will talk to you next week. And next week is the free webinar. It is September 17th, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Have a great week.
I'm Coach Tina. For more information about how to work with me, head to ironstrongfitness.com and send me a message. I'll see you next time.